Simplified Chaos, episode 180.
Life is beautiful and full of chaos.
And it can get slightly out of hand if that shit's not tamed.
We're here to share how to simplify the little things to help you lead a more intentional life.
This is Simplified Chaos.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Simplified Chaos. This is Jillian, and I'm with my co-host and husband, Nicholas.
What's going on, folks? We hope you all are having an amazing week. We've got another great episode here for you today. We're getting back into our simplification series. Jilly, what are we simplifying this week?
This week, we're diving into simplification of the living room.
Yeah, the living space, the living room. Some people call it a family room.
Common area.
We're going to call it the living space.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of interesting things to talk about there. But before we dive into that, as always, we love to show a little gratitude before we jump into everything. So Jilly, what are you grateful for this week?
I am grateful for the rainy day we had today.
Super rainy.
I was just talking with you off air.
Off the mic.
Off the mic, that it was so nice to kind of, quote unquote, be forced to like hunker down and just kind of stay inside most of the day. It actually made running errands a little bit easier because Lucille wasn't as excited to get outside. So it was like, all right, well, we have to pick up some goods for Friendsgiving this weekend because we're hosting Friendsgiving, which is so exciting.
Can't believe we're already here, the time of year.
Yeah, so we were able to hit up two great spots and get some delicious goodies and came back, and Lucille was like in the creative zone today. And like yesterday we did some painting, so today she dove into coloring and drawing, and she was playing with her Barbies. And we've been really playing a lot of games too, especially because I don't know if we mentioned it last week, the TV is hibernating this month, and it's been fun to see what replaces the TV and the entertainment. And the entertainment has been games, card games, dominoes, board games, and it's been really, really fun just to be more interactive with her throughout the day, but still feel like I'm well rested too. So it's been an interesting transition, and some new rhythms have been taking place. But all in all, today was just like such a put on your warm socks, stay cozy, and just drink all the warm beverages today inside.
Yeah. We'll talk later about our no TV November month, maybe towards the end of the month, and some of the things that we've noticed from it, the benefits that we've seen, the changes in, I guess I want to say behavior in Lucille, but I mean, that's what it is ultimately. But yeah, it's been very interesting and an eye-opening experiment, but we're actually halfway through as we record this today. We still got the second half of November to go, but we'll report on our findings there.
Nice.
Yeah.
50% the way through.
Yeah.
We're doing great. What about you?
I am grateful that the long wait for a patio is over. We've been waiting for this patio to be installed, and it was worth the wait. It looks awesome. It looks amazing. We put our deposit down on it basically a year ago.
Yeah.
And it took an entire year to get done. And I'm just excited to use it. So it's fire season, and we will be building some fires in our little fire pit that's back there. It's not one that's built into the patio. It's just a little portable one, but it gets the job nonetheless done nonetheless. If I can talk here.
You're doing great.
Yeah, but no, we had a patio in our last house. We knew we wanted to do one in this house. We really don't have much of a drop off from our backsliding door to the ground, so there was no choice but a patio. There was no deck back there, and it really ties the room together.
The outdoor room
ties the yard together. No, it's awesome. I'm excited for it. So lots of grilling, lots of good time with friends to be had out there, and I can't wait.
Yeah, and I really haven't figured out what I want to like put out there yet, but I feel like taking the same notes that I take when we moved in, like slow to grow. Slow to grow. Sorry, I just think of penises. Just like when I say slow to grow, I mean like slow to put things into the house, like to see to see how it feels. God,
I'm losing my shit over here, guys.
Sorry about that. Anyway, just take our time with curating the space outside, not rushing to like put all the things out there. Right now, we do have like 2 chairs and a little table and the fire pit, and that's it. And eventually, we need a really strong person to kind of help you move the grill out there.
Yeah, the wheels aren't very big on that thing, so it's one of those things where you have to lift it up, and otherwise I would have already dragged it through the yard and had it back there.
Yeah.
But no, it's all good, and that's kind of the way we've done this house since we moved in a little over a year ago. It's been very slow to curate.
Grow.
I wasn't gonna say grow. We've been slow to curate the house the way that we want it, and I think it's a good segue into talking into the living space, because that's another space that's constantly evolving. But we've got some basics that we wanted to share with you all today, because we feel like we've got it set up optimally for at least us.
Yeah, and that's all we're doing is sharing our unique journey and what works for us. And I had
some of the things we considered when putting it together. Yeah,
absolutely. And I had this reflection as we were putting Lucille to sleep. Just listening to the name of the room, that's a living room. So thinking of living, it should be joyful. You should have meaning and purpose in it. It's not the dying room.
No.
It should not be a source of pain, dread, or hopelessness. So if your living room causes that amongst the chaos, clutter, mess, just whatever the case is, then maybe we can pivot from that and make it more of a living room versus a dying room.
Yeah, we definitely want it to be a space where there's 2 places where people really come together in our house, and that's the kitchen and the living space. And luckily those are connected, so it's a nice big area. It's I guess open concept, so to say. So we can shift from one to the other very easily. But like we want it to be inviting. We don't want anybody to like kind of go in their separate rooms, like you in the bedroom, me out there, or Lucille in her room. Like we want it to be an area where we can be together, and whatever it is, like if at the time when we had the TV, it could be me and her watching TV while you're doing some writing or something like that. So we've really curated the space to make it an area where we can be together but still do different things.
Absolutely. And kind of like the protocol that we've been doing that I decided were the 4 P's, like purpose, purge, prep, and then play. So thinking of our living space and our living area, I was like, what's the purpose of that? And it was just like, we want to be able to have space to play, relax, just connect with others, and just, love and grow together. Like,
right.
It's pretty simple, but just thinking about that kind of helps you purge all the excess, all the bullshit that's getting in the way of that. Like, if there is too much furniture, or there's not a lot of space to run or to like do yoga or to stretch or to play games, then we would have to get rid of some things. But we've kind of curated our living room in a way where there's plenty of space for any type of play. Things can be moved quickly to create space, and there's not a lot of furniture. Kind of like all of the furniture is easily to move too. And I think also something to consider, at least I consider, is the purpose also is that I want to feel good in that space. I want it to be beautiful, but I want it to be easily maintained. So if there's anything that I don't want to spend a lot of time cleaning and maintaining, I really think intentionally, like, is this something I want to bring into our living area? Because, is it going to take a lot of effort to keep up with it and maintain it? Even thinking about fabric choices for like couches, certain types of pillows, decorations, like all of these things I consider when it comes to putting anything in my home, is that how much time is that going to take me? And is that time I want to dedicate to maintaining and cleaning that space?
Right, exactly.
So yeah, when I was thinking about like, after we did a lot of purging in our old home, which kind of helped prepare us for this house, it was kind of easier with this house because it was this empty space that we could add things to, and anything that we didn't really think we would be used, it was like we just kind of left it in the box. And we're like, all right, I guess we can donate these things or sell them on Facebook Marketplace. But as far as like prepping the space, I think part of the space is just like I want it to feel loved and I want us to like grow together as a family. And I think that shows in like the decor you put up, what kind of pictures you're displaying, plants, lights, art on the walls, books, like are all of those things reflecting the vibe and what the purpose of the living space I want it to be. Like if you look at all my books, I'm not putting out like scary thrillers. For me, it's not like they're not for me and they're not for our family really. But if you to each their own, like for me, like I really like putting, mindset books out there that I can grab whenever I need to and I use them. Or there's some really cool minimalism books that Nick just lets me have my way with decorating. Let's just say that
I would just put nothing out there.
Exactly. So this is kind of like how my brain works. It's like anything, I want my things to be usable, if not mentally or maybe physically and emotionally, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just a laborer. I put up the shelves and whatever, and then I let you do your thing.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me do my thing.
You're welcome.
And like, we really see the purpose of our living space and having connection, whether that's with together, with friends, with neighbors, with coworkers, like anyone who comes in. So I think like thinking about the choice of how do you organize that space? Is it inviting and does it have a sense of like connection of can I see you when I'm talking? Do I have to turn this awkward way to like have a fun discussion or maybe play a board game or like to have drinks or whatever? So I think we thought pretty intentionally like the layout of our space. Did you want to elaborate any more?
Yeah, no, I think that was what I wanted to say there. And so when we set up the space, we have a sectional couch. It's not a big sectional couch. We have a sectional couch, and then we have 2 just sitting chairs in the room. And what we did is neither the couch nor the sitting chairs face the TV, the wall, and where the TV is when it is out. So, yeah, you have to have that awkward head movement when you are watching TV, or you can just sit on the sectional a different way. But we wanted it to be more of that, like you said, that inviting to conversation and whatnot. And we've had some, great conversation with folks that are over visiting or whatever. We'll sit in the chairs and the couch. We're facing each other. We're not facing the box on the wall. And it's exactly the way we curated it. So, and then we have a little coffee kind of table in the middle. What did we use there for that? It's
a cedar chest, which is great because it can store things inside. So it's like a storage piece, but also a table, and also you can sit on it. So it's got a lot of purposes, which was intentional as well.
Yeah, multi-purpose. We can always swing that thing around and have a circle there if we really needed to. Yeah,
and Lucille uses it. It's like the perfect height for her for like games or to play with her dolls on it. Or, we have a collection of books on there that she likes to grab from time to time. But yeah, I think it's funny. I had this epiphany, and this was like a couple years ago, about if aliens came to our planet and they looked at our living room and they just see people staring at a box, wouldn't that be weird? And I was like, I want my home to face people. I don't want it to face a thing. And I know that sounds really silly probably, but I really told Nick, I was like, I really want our furniture to what's the word I'm looking for? Just to promote,
to be inviting,
just to promote more conversation versus distraction in a way. And conversation can be just as entertaining as television. And I'm not bashing television, but I'm just saying, like, I think it can be easily to get, pulled into constantly relying on the TV for all of its purposes, and I just really wanted to try hard to fight against that. And so far it's been great, and we can shift it around if we're like, this is not working. So I love that our furniture isn't like super heavy or impossible to move, and we can kind of ebb and flow and change it if needed. Yeah.
And the nice thing is our furniture, at least the sitting furniture in there, is leather. And say what, there's a lot of common misconceptions about leather, but leather will withstand a lot of abuse. And, our leather has had some abuse from kids, in our last house and in this house, dogs. And, for us, it looked, the weathered look to it, looks great. It's easy to clean. And like I said, when I was growing up, my parents had leather couches, and there was 3 boys in that house, and we abused the hell out of it, and it still looks good, 20 years later. So We have leather furniture in there from Polly and Bark. I would definitely check them out. I'm going to give a little shout out, a little plug to those folks. We just feel like they do very good job, very minimalist style furniture. And then we gave the room a little character with the rug. We have hardwood, well, not hardwood floors. They're vinyl plank flooring throughout the house that looks like hardwood, but we needed to tie the room together. And so we've got a nice little throw rug down there.
Which is washable. So
Yeah.
there's definitely a common theme with like leather. It's really easy to maintain. It's really easy to vacuum. The more you destroy it, the better it looks, which is like a win-win in my book, especially with having a kid and like a lot of kids coming over and playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, even thinking about like the rug, like it's easy to vacuum, it's easy to clean if needed. Like, we didn't put curtains on our windows because I'm like, you know what? Our house is close enough to the other house. There's no one that's going to be walking between the two houses. Like, what is the purpose of curtains? Like,
Not in that
it's
room, at
just
least.
one more thing that I have to clean and dust and like maintain. So we just have this really great natural lighting coming in just through our windows. There is no dressings around it, so to say. Also, I have like little cloths that I put on. Like we have a little table to set drinks on between the chairs, and I put one of Lucille's what were they called? I used to wrap
Like
her
a little
in.
blankie, like her swaddle.
The swaddles, yeah. They have a name and I can't think of it. Anyway, she had some really cute swaddles and I'm like, we don't really use these. So I use them as like table covers because it like saves on the dusting, It collects a little dust and I can just pull it off and like wash it if needed. But just like little things and then leaving a lot of things out that just isn't needed, but a lot of people have because I think they have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned the hard way is just that, I want to be intentional with whatever I put on a table or a shelf. And that goes to having wall shelves. I wanted less things touching the ground that I have to vacuum around.
Yeah.
So I was like, Nick, I really want some shelves to like put some decorations up, some photos, some special things that kind of like represent our family and the vibe I want. So we did purchase some wall shelves, and that is amazing because I don't have to vacuum around it. It's really easy to clean, and it looks beautiful, I think.
It also ties the room together very nicely.
You just like saying that,
I do.
don't you?
I do. But
Yeah.
I was going to say, we say all this not to say that we don't have anything in there for Lucille, because we do have, a dedicated area for her there. The TV sat on, what are those, like the cubby kind of,
It's like a cubicle.
like a cubicle kind of nice looking shelf there where we have canvas bags where we store, the toys that she has out in that room. So, we ask her to put her toys away when they are done. That doesn't happen all the time, but, for a good amount of the time it does. But, it's still there, but it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, just because it is, in these little canvas bags within those cubbies there. And we also have her little kitchen that was, right next to the TV, and, she keeps it very well maintained, and
She's got a system in place. For
yeah,
sure.
it doesn't really even like take up that much space. It's just right up against the wall. And so she's got access to entertaining things there, and, she's able to help herself and, get creative or play with toys or play in the kitchen and play, what does she call it? Welcome to my bakery, all the time. So yeah, I think that's really cool how we were able to pull all that in there and then really keep the room the way that, we wanted to keep it.
Yeah, and I know some people want the living room just to be like just neutral. Like this is for adults. This isn't a kid space for toys or anything. Whereas us, it's like our home is kind of small. And I was like, the living room and the kitchen are huge spaces that are together. I want Lucille to have as much space as possible to do what she wants to do and explore. So we decided to put her toys in the living room. But yeah, we don't have a lot, and you can definitely check out the Simplification of Toys episode to get like into the nitty gritty about what we decided to do and how it's working. But one of the P's, like the last P, is just play. Like play in the space and see how it feels. Right now, it's been feeling amazing. There's a ton of space for her to run. She likes to play games. She likes to play The Floor is Lava. Today, she was playing like a snakes game. And then she was dressed up as an alligator who was chasing me. And we were using different things and pillows and blankets as like little lily pads. So I love that our space just represents everybody in the family. It's not just me. It's not just Nick. It's like all of us. You can see Lucille's energy in there. You can see Nick's energy. Well, loving my sense of taste energy.
Yeah. I bring the energy just being in the room.
Is there anything you would add to it, babe, that you feel like needs it?
No.
Do you feel left out at all?
Not at all.
Like
I said, I would put nothing up.
But I think one of the main reasons we did curate the way we do is because we want our living area to be accessible to all.
Yep.
It's not just an adult thing. It's an everybody thing.
Exactly.
And it seems to be working so far. And I know it'll evolve and shift, but it definitely embodies like the purpose that we see right now in this season. And we're really enjoying that space a lot.
Yeah. And the ceiling fan really ties the room together too.
You know what? It does. You picked out some great... See, that's you. You picked out that amazing
I did
ceiling
pick out
fan.
the ceiling fans.
Yeah.
And we did the same one in each room throughout the house. It made it very easy.
Yeah. And the best part about our living area is that I love relaxing and resting in it. It doesn't make me feel overwhelmed or stressed out. Like, it's just enough of us and our things that bring us joy and meaning and purpose to, like, I feel good. I feel cozy in there. When I sit down, it's just like, I love this space. I want to be in it more. And I think that's what your home should reflect. You should want to be there. It's supposed to be a safe place for you. And I definitely get that being in our space.
I do too.
And if no one else does, that's okay. It's not your thing, man.
Exactly.
It's our thing.
It's our thing.
But
yeah, you did a good job in there, Jilly.
Thank you, hon.
Yeah.
It didn't cost that much money either.
No, not at all.
A lot of using what you have and finding new purposes and way to use it. So
100%.
you don't have to spend money to curate a great living room, guys.
That's true. Any other topics or any other points you wanted to bring up there? I think we covered.
We did.
Yeah.
I think we were pretty on point this episode.
Awesome.
We didn't do a lot of rambling.
No, well, I can go on and ramble now if you like. Jilly, you got any resources for our listeners today?
I do. I found a blog post that was called The Importance of Simplifying. It was like on nosidebar.com. And they had, let me see, they had 4 things of like just the how. I know sometimes I'm not as good as like, I feel like my gift isn't always telling you the how. It's just kind of like giving you my story and my opinion and how I feel and like what that transition has been like. And I feel like I'm really good at that. But when it comes to like giving details on how to do something, I feel like you're way better at that.
The devil's in the details.
The devil's in the details. So I found a blog post that only had 4 things, but I thought they were really good how statements.
All right, let's
on like
do it.
simplifying your living space, living area.
That's
Number
what people
1.
want. How to do it.
Number 1's my favorite. Remove everything.
There you go. Blank slate.
Like pretend you're moving in. It's worth it. Totally. I can tell you from this fresh start. It was amazing. Number 2, only keep what's useful, beautiful, or meaningful. I think that's pretty simple.
Yeah.
This thing ugly, I'm not keeping that.
Get rid of it. It's gone.
Number 3, nothing on the floor but furniture legs.
I like that.
And when I'm thinking about ours, I'm like,
Yeah, check.
the shelves are on the walls.
Except for the rug that really ties the room together.
The rugs have to be on the floor. What do you want to put the floor on the ceiling?
I just wanted to say it really tied the room together again.
Oh, man. But yeah, nothing on the floor but furniture legs. I think that's a big thing. And it really makes you think intentionally about what you put in there. And it makes cleaning a hell of a lot easier. Take it from me.
100%.
100%. The last one, number 4, have a place for everything and everything in its place. So a designated spot for everything, have a home, and if you have kids, this makes cleaning up for them so much easier and they can be more independent so that you're not doing it all, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. I thought they were pretty simple and like to the point, and I was like reflecting on our space and I'm like, okay, yep. Yeah, these sound good to me.
The last thing in the living room, in the living space that we forgot that's most important.
Our plants?
Well, no.
Oh, the alcohol.
The liquor cabinet.
We have a little piece of furniture. It's like a little cubicle, and it's this beautiful, it's made out of wood. Kind of reminds me of like, yeah, a cubicle cedar chest in a way.
Yeah, it's really interesting, but it's a nice little corner.
Yeah.
It
All the
has a
liquor.
plant on top of it, so it really ties the room together.
Oh God, how many times have you said that? This was a drinking game. They'd
Or you
have
could just watch
like,
The
what,
Big Lebowski.
5 or 6 drinks so far.
Yes.
From how many times you've said that?
Maybe we'll put that in the
Is
show
that from The
notes.
Big Lebowski?
Of course.
Oh man, I haven't seen that
They
movie.
pissed on your rug, man.
It's a great movie. I've only seen it once.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm
All
sorry.
right. Yeah.
Now we're gonna have to watch it
Oh,
when
I'm
we
in.
get the TV in, or when we go to an Airbnb and have a TV.
Wait, you're telling me that was the first time you've ever watched it?
Yeah, was with
good,
you.
That was a good night.
It wasn't good. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to talk about that. Oh man, sexual thing.
That
for
is
sure.
well. That is for another episode.
That is for
Nick's
episode.
dark days.
All right.
All right, and what we got next? The quote of the day here.
Yeah, that's
What
that
you
quote
got
of
there?
the day. The quote of the day is from Denaye Barahona, and it's from her book Happy Simple Parenting, which is displayed in my living room, and I love it so much because I grabbed it off the shelf
See what you did there.
to find some good quotes. So this is the quote. Our aim is to create a home that is lovely but functional, safe but accessible, filled with essentials but embraces white space.
We got plenty of white space.
We do.
Yeah.
We got a
Our
lot of
walls are white. Our ceilings are white.
personalities to paint the white space. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't painting nothing.
That's what we painted with. We painted with our personality,
That's right.
man. Oh, snap. That's good. That's good. We paint it with our
Quote
energy.
of the day number 2.
Paint your house with energy, not paint.
An EMF blocking paint.
Oh, is that a thing?
Oh my goodness, that's another rabbit hole.
EMF. Okay.
Yeah, we won't get into that crap. But let's see. And take action challenge, Jilly.
Make that living area livable and fun. I don't know. Like,
I like it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Does that sound okay?
I like it.
All right.
Awesome. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you like this episode, please do us a favor and help us spread the message. You can do this by writing a review or simply by sharing this episode with a friend. And remember, sharing sparks a conversation. Conversation leads to action, and action is how we're able to live a happy and intentional as hell lifestyle. We want to thank you all for listening today, and we will see you again next week.
See y'all later.